are you able to sleep at night knowing you took the life of not one, but two beautiful human beings?
Jamila Ahmad, mother of Rabia and grandmother of Aja Ahmad, speaking to the person or people who killed her loved ones.
You shattered my life. You took my passions, my daughter and my granddaughter. You took my angels. You took away my prophet, my goddess, and my gentle little angelic granddaughter.
It was back on July 31st at around 11 p.m. Reports came in that several shots were fired in a residence in the 6600 block of Dovecote Drive in Columbia. Ahmad had recently moved to Maryland from Florida to spend time with the father of her then unborn baby. She was struck once and ended up dying at the hospital. Her baby, Aja, survived until August 5th when she passed away as well.
To get that news that my sister is no longer here, it broke my heart.
There are really no words to express the magnitude of sorrow at the...
Another black female police chief, Howard County. Is there anywhere in this country where there's not a black female police chief? Like, I mean, what a racist and sexist fucking country this is, when every goddamn time we go somewhere, the mayor's a sister or the police chief's a sister. Every time.
To innocent lives.
Howard County Police Chief Lisa Myers told reporters that they do not believe Rabia was targeted, that someone was firing into the home for a, quote, different reason. But with no leads, time is of the essence.
We believe there are people who know what happened in this tragic incident.
The Howard County Police Department is now offering a cash reward of $20,000. Also, on top of that, the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CARE, is offering an additional $5,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction in this case.
Where's the NBA? Where's an NBA player? Where the Wizards at? Where the Redskins at? Where the Baltimore Ravens at? Offering a reward. They too busy taking up for fucking thugs.
Case, anyone with information should call 410-313-STOP. We also have some extra ways to get a hold of police on our website and on our mobile app. In Ellicott City, I'm Lowell Melser, WVAL, TV 11.
Here's a story you're probably not going to hear about anywhere else but here. But you know, guys, I always talk about your safety. I always talk about your safety is very important. Like, never relax. I used to have a series called Never Relax. Many of y'all used to have been here long enough. You remember my Never Relax series. You got to be careful out here. I know a lot of you guys don't want to seem like you're racist. You don't want to look like you're profiling anybody or judging anybody. But there's a new hustle that's going on now that lawlessness is reigning supreme across this country. So here's one case of it in New York. Group targets customers who recently purchased Apple products across NYC. So what happens is these guys hang around the Apple store. People buy such things as iPods and iPads and all types of high-priced electronics. They hang around the Apple store. They watch you, because you know the Apple store usually has a big pane glass windows. So you can see in. You don't even have to be in there. You can be outside and you can see in. And they watch people coming out with Apple bags. They follow them to the place where I guess there's no police around, and then they take their stuff. New York police are searching for a group of people accused of snatching Apple products from people across New York City. The incidents were reported to police between June 30th and July 22nd. People who recently shopped and made purchases in the Apple store were targeted. The suspects followed the victims along the street and sometimes in the stores and pushed them to the ground before taking their Apple products and fleeing. No injuries were reported. It's a pretty good crime to do, because if you think about it, they used to go in the Apple stores and just snatch. They used to do those big snatch and grabs. They would go in, like 20 of them, like maybe not 10 of them would go in the Apple store with all hooded and masked up and just go in there and snatch everything and run out. Apple's kind of like up their security because that was going on so frequent. That was such a frequent crime that now these guys are adjusted. They did what criminals are supposed to do. Criminals are supposed to adjust, then the police are supposed to adjust. Only thing when the police adjust is racist. So the criminals have adjusted to the new security measures, or the new to the adjustment that the property owners or the stores or whatever have made to combat them stealing their products. So now they're just waiting until the people buy the stuff and then following them and then taking their stuff. Now, next what's going to happen is the next adjustment is going to have to be, cameras on the outside of the store. They're going to have to be people being vigilant. They're going to tell people, look, when you leave our store, if you see some people that look threatening or look suspicious following you, call the police. What you're going to have is a bunch of people, white and black, because white people aren't the only ones who shop at Apple. Hispanic, Asian, walking down the street after they've left the Apple store and seeing some Negroes following them, and they're going to call the police on them. And the Negroes going to be like, we wasn't doing nothing, because technically they didn't do nothing yet. And then somebody mama going to call the news station, and her son, she's going to get her son a haircut and tell him to sit there and look, don't say a word. And she's going to talk about how racism all over America and her son was profiled and yada, yada, yada. Often troubled former NFL star receiver Brandon Marshall wants the whole world to know that he too is oppressed. It's not just George Floyd, Rayshard Brooks, and Jacob Blake. It's him too. The racist white people, or the racist system or institution, has attacked him as well. Okay? Brandon Marshall too. Because apparently he got into a heated argument with security guards who called the cops on him as he was moving into his new home in a Florida gated community. A gated community that is 97% white, non-black. And that's the shit about these niggas. Why is this nigga not going to fucking live in Opelika or in fucking Orlando or some shit in the hood in Tampa or something? Why is he not going to live in a black neighborhood and clean it up? Why is this guy complaining about the way he was treated, moving into his gated community? Now let's see. It's very important. Let's watch the tape. Western Florida. Former NFL player Brandon Marshall was trying to move into his new home. Security called the police. His estimated net worth is $18 million. His scared children were in the car. It never ends.
Problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. I come here, you feel uncomfortable. My first day moving into my new house, because my name's not on the list, you call the cops.
All right, we got an issue, Brandon. Right off the bat, man. Right off the bat. You ain't on the list. It's your first day moving into the neighborhood. So you should be able to understand that these security guards ain't never seen your black ass before. White people don't, and this goes back to that quote I showed you guys the other day. Privilege is expecting near perfection from everyone and everything while expecting none from yourself. So these security guards at this gated community with $1 million homes where a bunch of rich people live at, not athlete rich, I'm talking about rich in other fields. People got their money in other fields of life, other occupations. Rich people live. The security at that place, at the gate of the gated community, some big black guy who's acting like an ass because no one here one if you believe this is the tone. He's speaking in the same octave, in the same vocal range that he was speaking before he turned on his camera. Hit one if you think this is the same pitch, the same volume he was using before he turned on his camera and started recording these racist white security guards. I don't believe that shit. I believe he was crazily out of control because we're going to look at his rap sheet in a minute. He has a rap sheet as long as Shaq feet. This guy has had more problems off the field than almost any player in the history of the NFL. And he's 6'5" and he's built like a Sherman tank. But he's not on the list. He admits that. Why did you admit that, nigga? Because you know motherfuckers don't care. He know that all he gotta do is say racism and these liberals will lie on Twitter. They ain't gonna care. But I caught it, nigga. I caught it. You went on this your first day moving in. You ain't on the list. These security guards have no reason to know who the fuck you are to let you in. Now, if this was your first day and you were on the list and they didn't let you in, still, this was your 50th day and you wasn't on the list and they seen you before but you're not on the list but they know you come in here, still shouldn't let your ass in. These people in this Western community pay way too much fucking money to them to be letting any random dude, especially one that's irate and acting like a jackass in. Let alone one they've never seen before and who's not on the list.
My first day moving into my new house, because my name's not on the list, you call the cops. Now you call the cops. No, you're not trying to do your job. There was no threat for you to call the cops. This is what we're seeing every single day. This is what we're seeing every single day. I got 2 kids in the car right now.
That means absolutely jack. That you could go scrape all the bird shit off a fucking canopy somewhere and put it in a bag with a bunch of rat feces, put it in a blender, mix it up with piss and pour it in a cup, and I wouldn't give a that would mean more to me than the fact that you got kids in that car. The fact that you got kids in that car means jack shit to me. My job is to man this station at the gate of this gated community where all these rich fucks live to pay us to keep fucking people who don't belong in there out. Sir, do you live here? It's my first day moving in. Okay, let's look at the list. You're not on the list. We can't let you in. Sorry. Then if you act like an asshole, we could fuck you up and kick your ass and taser you, put you in a chokehold, fight with you, even shoot your black ass. But we called the police. And then your ass started recording, talking much lower than you were before you were recording, and acting far less aggressively than you were before, and talking about you got kids. Who gives a fuck if you got kids in the car? What does that have to do with us letting you in this fucking... What does that have to do? Do you know it's people that steal with their kids? How many of y'all know? Hit one if you know this. People go steal with their kids. They take their little kids with them, and the kids steal. And because, you know, the kids are less suspect, the security guards are less likely to look at kids. And the kids, they use their kids to steal. Put products in their kids' clothes, all type of shit. How the kids stealing. A kid with you, what the fuck does that mean? You got your kid with you. What the fuck gives a fuck?
Cops. No, you're not trying to do your job. There was no threat for you to call the cops. This is what we're seeing every single day. This is what we're seeing every single day. I got 2 kids in the car right now. We're in Weston, Florida, one of the most affluent areas. Yes, I know there's other black people live here. I know that. Problem.
Yes, I know there's other black people live here. I know that. But you call them racist. And it ain't that many black people that live there that ain't athletes. Or fucking high-priced fucking people in the entertainment fields or big-time lawyers and doctors. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. You won't find news like this anywhere but here. The only channel on YouTube that gives you the news like this. Okay, so let's look at Brandon Marshall's record through the years. Brandon Marshall, the talented but troubled wideout, the Chicago Bears. This is back when he played for Chicago. So this isn't even everything. This is just up until 2014. So in 2004, when he was in college, he faced the misdemeanor charges of trespass, resisting arrest. Which one of you niggas don't have a resisting arrest charge? Resisting arrest without violence, disorderly conduct, refusal to obey, and assault on an officer from an Halloween night arrest his junior year at Central Florida. All charges were dismissed because, you know, the racist justice system. In 2005, he was charged with retail theft after police in Orlando accused him of trying to return a stolen set of bed sheets at a Burlington coat factory. The charges were dropped again because he's an athlete. And niggas get charges dropped all the time who ain't athletes. In 2006, Marshall and his then girlfriend Rashida Watley both filed police reports alleging physical abuse by the other in an hours-long fight at Marshall's apartment in Orlando. No arrests were made. 2007, according to court testimony in the murder trial in which Broncos cornerback Darren Williams was the victim and Willie Clark was the defendant, Marshall and his cousin were involved in an altercation outside the downtown Denver nightclub with Willie Clark and Daniel Ponytail Harris. Prosecutors believe an enraged Clark followed the limousine that he thought Marshall and his cousin were in. Clark was found guilty of firing 15 shots into the crowded limousine and killed Williams. Marshall and his cousin were in the other vehicle. Clark is serving a life sentence. So Marshall got into a fight with a Negro, 2 Negroes at the club. The Negroes was looking for him after the club. They thought they caught up with his limousine. He was actually in another limo. So these niggas shoot up the limousine, the wrong limo, kill his teammate, Darren Williams. So this nigga got his teammate killed fucking around at the club. Now, we're only in 2007. I might not do the whole thing, but I'm going to just give you a taste of this guy who's outside 6'5", 240, built like a Sherman tank, yelling at these fucking security guards. And he wondering why they called the police. 2007, police interviewed Marshall and his father after an argument in an Orlando parking lot. Marshall claimed his father tried to run him over with his car, while the father told police Marshall had a shotgun. Both declined to press charges. So this nigga ain't suffered no consequences yet. All this shit, it's just 2007. He ain't suffered no consequences yet. This the nigga that's crying racism. So 2007, his girlfriend, Watley, told Atlanta police that Marshall had punched her and taken her purse while at a downtown hotel. Marshall left before police arrived and no charges were filed. It's hard on the brother of America, man. You do one little thing, they lock you up forever. Goddamn racist ass white people. This justice system. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit that PayPal, take the $5 challenge. Definitely take that $5 challenge. If you haven't, even if you have, take it again and again and again. Support this channel, this work we doing here. They ain't gonna tell you about this nigga that's out there yelling about racism. Ain't even on the fucking list. Cause they won't let him in this all fucking white neighborhood that he moving into. Nigga need to be moving into a black neighborhood with a black wife and raising some black kids and helping out to build a black community. Instead, this nigga ran out to fucking hills. Police in Palm Beach County in 2007, March 21st, interviewed Marshall and Watley twice in one night after the two loud arguments. Both said incidents were not physical and no arrests were made. Later on that month, Marshall was arrested in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, on charges of domestic violence and false imprisonment after another argument with Watley. Marshall hired his attorney, Steve Steinberg, to defend him, and the charges were dropped. Then June 8th, 2 incident reports were filed by Atlanta police. The first was to investigate damage to private property when Watley's friend, so that's his girlfriend's friend, alleged Marshall hit her car, in which Watley was the passenger, then threw a rock at the passenger door. In the other complaint from that same day, Watley told police Marshall had cut her in the thigh and punched her in the face. She was taken by ambulance to the local hospital. Marshall was not at the scene, and no charges were filed. God damn, this it's hard on a nigga. They so racist. Not a system so racist. So fast forward a couple months later, we're still in 2007. His girlfriend told Atlanta police Marshall had punched and choked her at a downtown condo. Girl, you need to leave this nigga. Anyway, he in the league, he making a bunch of money. I get it. Leaving a bruise on her eye and scratches on her body. He was not at the scene. No charges were filed. This nigga, he a wide receiver. He know how to run that go route. Soon as he do some shit, he run that go route and fucking, I guess, the police... Oh my God. So October that same year, we're still in 2007. I told you I might not get to the end of this. This nigga is the violent nigga, okay? Marshall was arrested and charged with DUI after he allegedly was driving the wrong way on a one-way street in downtown Denver after the Broncos game. So he did get arrested this time for DUI. Why they ain't just rent him a car? Why they ain't just take him to a hotel? Them racist police should have just taken him to a hotel and tucked him in the bed while they are trying to arrest him. We could have had another Rayshard Brooks situation. Them damn racist cops tried to arrest this nigga. Take the nigga to, go rent the nigga a hotel room and tuck him in his bed. So now we're on to 2008. Finally, we're in another year. 2007 was a rough year for Brandon and everybody who came in contact with him. 3 incident reports filed on consecutive days, and 1 criminal warrant were filed after his girlfriend and Marshall got into a fight at his Atlanta condo. Watley told police Marshall had punched her in the mouth and eye. Marshall told police his hand was also cut on glass during the incident, which included Watley's 2 younger sisters. Marshall was arrested on March 6 on a misdemeanor battery charge. All right, these motherfuckers, they finally stopped playing with you. Okay? They finally stopped playing with your bucky head. And this is what I tell you about the criminal justice system. This charge he got arrested on, this is what they'll do. They'll find a white dude who just got charged with this, who ain't never had a parking ticket. And they'll put him next to Brandon Marshall, who been in fucking trouble all his fucking life, in and out of the fucking system. And they'll say, well, the white boy got sentenced to less time than Brandon Marshall. Yeah, of course, the white boy, because he ain't had it. This white boy that you're putting him against, this specific white boy that you've plucked out of the 1,000 fucking mafioso, fucking Aryan nation, all these motherfuckers. You picked this one white boy's case out and put him next to this one black guy and said, judging from this, they black person charged with the same thing as a white person. The black person get a harsher sentence. That's the games they play. When they talking about the system is rigged against black people, they play games like that. They'll take specific white boys. They won't take no mafia niggas, no mafia members. They won't take no Hell's Angels. They won't take no Nazi lowriders. They'll take some square-ass white boy who ain't had a parking ticket, get charged with a crime. A fucking thug-ass nigga get charged with the same crime. They'll tell you, well, the black dude got X amount of years and the white dude got X amount of less years. So, anyway, later that month, an Atlanta police officer was dispatched to Marshall's condo to enforce Watley's temporary restraining order while Watley was there removing her belongings. The officer described Marshall as being cooperative and Watley as being argumentative, though Watley told officers she felt threatened by Marshall and his relatives who were also there. In August, the NFL announced that Marshall was suspended for the first of 3 games of the season for violating personal conduct policy. In March of 2009, Marshall took part in a fierce argument with his fiancée. Now they're engaged. That led to their arrest on disorderly conduct charges. Later on, a 6-person Atlanta jury acquitted him of misdemeanor battery charges. Then he got suspended for the remainder of the season for conduct detrimental to the team the day after he lost his cool at practice, punting away a football and batting down balls in frustration. He was reinstated in September. Then February 2010, he testified for the prosecution in the murder trial of Willie Clark, the man accused of killing former Bronco Darren Williams. Marshall was out with Williams that night of the murder. Then in 2011, Michi Nogami Marshall, the woman whom Marshall married 3 weeks prior, is arrested and jailed after she admits to police she stabbed her husband with a kitchen knife in self-defense. Marshall's hospitalized following emergency surgery to repair a non-life-threatening stab wound to his stomach. So his wife got arrested. So she said it was self-defense. But he's an angel, so, I don't believe that. I think she stabbed him for no reason. So then, in 2011, he tells the attorney office that his wife did not stab him, and the charges were dropped on her. Then, in 2011, he reveals he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. So that was when he started being the champion for mental health. Black people have mental health issues too. When a white person does something, they get to say they have mental health issues. When a black person does, they don't get to say they have. Okay, nigga, you got mental health issues. Okay, cool. You got borderline personality disorder. Cool. The next year, 2012, after he went on TV, went on the talk show circuit, saying that all his previous problems were because of his mental issues. The next year, he punches a woman at a Manhattan nightclub. And when I tell you this is a big nigga, like, I'm a big dude too. This a big nigga, okay? This is a big muscular nigga, okay? This nigga 6'5", man. Big old nigga. Punched a woman at a Manhattan nightclub. Alright, so they only got up to 2012. Because this article's old. But, yeah, this article came out in 2012. So they only go up to 2012.
Problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. I come here, you feel uncomfortable. My first day moving into my new house, because my name's not on the list, you call the cops. Now you call the cops. No, you're not trying to do your job. There was no threat for you to call the cops. This is what we're seeing every single day. This is what we're seeing every single day. I got 2 kids in the car right now.
So, you know, there's probably 30 people we just listed that also called the cops on this nigga. This nigga done got people killed. He done been stabbed by his fucking fiance. His father tried to run over with a car. He done threw rocks at some girls, at some other woman's car, hit her car with his car. There's about 30 people that done called the police on him before these dudes did. These are the 31st people to ever call the police on this nigga. But they the first black ones, so they racist. I mean, they the first white ones, so they racist. Oh, shit.
Shocking scene that played out. Shocking because of how it played out and where. Today, Philadelphia police trying to track down the woman who walked into the Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul yesterday and punched a parishioner in the face. Now the cathedral's rector is telling people it is safe to worship inside. Action News reporter Corey Davis has the latest now.
Parishioners are shocked to...
I'm taking an unofficial poll right now. Was this a spicy Latina? 1 for spicy Latina, 2 for Karen, 3 for a sister. Okay? 1 for the perpetrator being a spicy Latina, 2 for the perpetrator being a Karen, and 3 for the perpetrator who punched this woman at church being a sister.
Hear of one of their own being attacked during Sunday Mass, but many of them tell us they still feel safe worshiping here at the Cathedral Basilica, even as police continue to search for the woman responsible. In this video, you can clearly see a woman slap or punch an unsuspecting parishioner in the face.
It's just something that shouldn't happen in a house of worship.
Many people watching the live stream of the 11 a.m. Mass yesterday saw this attack unfold. Leaders of the Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul are telling us they believe this was random. We're told the attacker came into the church at North 18th Street and the Ben Franklin Parkway and struck the victim who was walking back to the pew after delivering a reading in front of the congregation. Church leaders say there have been issues inside the building in the past, but not like this.
Our cathedral is open every day, and it's open especially to the people who have no place to go. And many times those people are not always emotionally or mentally balanced, and so we have incidents quite often, but it was especially disturbing that it happened during Mass.
Church leaders also tell us the attacker has been spotted in the building before, and right now Philadelphia police are trying to track her down as church officials continue to reassure the public that it's still safe to worship.
In such a racist country, why didn't a group of white people just string her up on a tree right there, accost her, make a citizen's arrest, string her up on a tree, and be done with it?
Here.
I just want to reassure everyone that we have protocols in place to ensure that the cathedral is a place of prayer where people can be comfortable and are always most welcome here.
We're told the victim is doing okay today and was not seriously injured.
At Mass, like at Mass, you can hear a mouse pissing on cotton at Mass. Literally, like should be the safest place in the fucking world. Had this been at a Baptist church and some white woman had come in a Baptist church and just said something slick to somebody. I mean, just, or a Pentecostal church, one of these black churches, that white woman just said something, you know, some faux pas, something that, you know, irked people, got on people's nerves. It'd have been all over fucking Twitter, all over the fucking news. All over the fucking news. That's why you gotta hit the like button, hit subscribe. You must take the $5 challenge. Take it. Take that $5 challenge, man. Keep it coming. PayPal, Super Chat. You also have Cash App, Google Pay, Courier Pigeon. Oh my God.
Surveillance images of an armed robbery suspect in the Gold Coast are now being released, and there's a reward offered if you can help police find him. Take a look. Police say this man is responsible for attacking an 85-year-old woman. The video shows her walking into a parking garage on Tuesday. A man yanks her purse from her shoulder, pulling her to the ground. The Andrew Holmes Foundation is offering a $1,000 reward for information that leads.
All right, guys, I can't do this. I'm spit, man. I'll see you guys later, man. Jesus Christ. Take it easy, man. Never relax.